Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to another regulation video game video.
Oh, regulation video games.
Regulation video games. Andrew, we appear to be in Halo 2 Classic.
We are.
The Master Chief Collection. This is not something I have participated in quite some time.
No, it's been a while. I'm here because I had a conversation with Gavin, something you don't know about his past that was illuminating to me. And I wanted to experience it with you. And the instinct is going to be to make fun of Gavin for this, but I think we need to do the data. We need to try the science behind it before we start. So I've recorded this with Gavin already, but to fill you in, Gavin told me that in this level of Halo 2 Lockout, that he had a spot that him and a girl would hide in.
I was laughing.
I
heard the second half of that. I just heard him and a girl, and it immediately sounds like bullshit.
That's fair. That's understandable. I get it.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I had to
You gather
water
yourself.
after that. So he had a spot behind the bleachers in Halo that he would take a girl to?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh.
And they wouldn't just like do this in matchmaking, they would do it in custom games. And
Why would they do it in custom games?
I don't listen, it's his thing. I was gonna ask you if you had a spot like this, but the answer is clearly no.
No.
But he said that it enhanced the conversation. So I wanted to take you, I can show you the spot so you can get a look at it, analyze it for yourself. And then I thought, even though it's not the most exciting footage, we could just hang out in the spot, have a little talk for like 15 minutes and see if you feel that it elevated the mood in any significant way.
First off, yeah, you had me at make fun of Gavin. Secondly, if it elevates the situation and it turns out to be a better conversation because of the location, then I guess we have to respect and give credit to Gavin. But if it's the reverse and it's a worse conversation, or at best a completely just average conversation, can I ridicule him?
Oh, that's for you to decide. I'm not going to dictate your own rules with Gavin. But hey,
I just want to. Hey, what's up?
Here we go.
Oh, right, you don't have a way to capture, so I'm.
No, it's just you. Yeah, we're still working on that. So this is Gavin. Are you ready for Gavin's spot?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Got to go over here.
You just
crouch down.
Hold on.
Got to jump over the little side there.
Blitz the Ruckus invited me to a party. All right, I don't know where you went to. I'm on this little spot right here.
Well, listen, there's not a lot of room here.
I
okay,
see,
so
I
just
see,
look up. It's a pretty narrow path, and they would just sit here, and this is their spot.
Oh, this is the spot?
This is. You didn't hear? Yeah, this is it.
You're super visible from right there. They just get sniped constantly.
Well, no, it's funny is that you say that because there was, I guess, another guy. You stay there.
Yeah.
There was another guy that was jealous because he had a crush on the girl, that they had this thing. And so whenever he figured out they were there, he'd run over here, murder Gavin, and then take his spot and just sit there as well.
So,
I don't know if Gavin retaliated, but this was the ritual.
So Gavin was a part of a Halo Lockout behind the bleachers love triangle.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, when him and I had these talks, this is not the conclusion we came to, but I like that this is where you're going with it.
This is such a John Hughes movie. Is this how he met Meg? Was it Meg?
I don't think so.
Was Dan the other guy? I'm fascinated. I want to know. This is insane.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing.
I've known him his entire life. I've never heard any of this, and I have to assume it's with good reason. Are you sure he's happy? Does he know that I know?
Yes.
Or you're telling me?
He does. I made sure. I asked, like, are you okay with Geoff knowing this? Because I know you. He was like, yeah, it's fine. Because I wanted to film. I brought up, like, I wanted to film a video with you to see. Maybe Gavin's right. Like, maybe he's onto something. That's the thing with Gavin. On the surface, a lot of the time it comes across maybe he's foolish, and then it's like, fuck, he's right. God damn it.
No, and then it's a Pubert Adams type situation. Yeah.
Exactly.
He is oddly right in a lot of ways. I've learned over time, he's owned my last 2 cars out from under me for losing bets to him. I've learned over the years to stop distrusting him. except for
Yeah,
on camera where it's appropriately funny.
Obviously, yes.
That's a pretty
And
mountain.
I think as much as this could turn into making fun of Gavin, I have a question for you about Gavin, and in a nice way. Let's compliment Gavin for a moment.
Okay.
Do you have a significant moment where, not maybe significant isn't the right word, but a moment that you clearly remember is like, this guy's really fucking funny. Like, his brain works in such like a funny, unique way. Like, do you have one of those? Is there like a story or a moment that comes to mind?
Can I ask for a point of clarification?
Yeah, of course.
What if I don't feel that way about him?
Well, then I don't understand what your entire friendship would be based around. And we could get into that. I don't mind going that way as well, because I feel like that's sort of fundamental to be a friend.
No. This is easy to answer. The reality is that almost, and it's almost unfair, but almost every time Gavin and I are together in person, it's like there's something happens that it just makes everything a little sillier and a little funnier, and not even us, just our surroundings. Like, it's just whenever Gavin and I are in the same location, the world gets a little silly. And we'll just be driving down the road, and a tiny horse will run across the street, and we'll almost run into it. Or we'll see a guy pull off the side of the interstate with a gun in his hand and run up and jump into a semi-truck and push the guy out with a gun, and then try to drive it away, and then run it into a wall, and then get out and get chased down by the cops. Or, there's like every day we're together, and we're just hanging out. Something so ridiculous happens that it feels like we were granted permission to see something funny every time I don't know how to describe it.
That's such a great way to describe it. I know exactly what you mean. There is Willy Wonka isn't like the right word. There's like a whimsicalness of Goofy that definitely follows him.
His grandfather, who is absolutely darling, and I think is just the sweetest man. And I've had the good fortune to meet him a few times. And he and I were having this discussion about Gavin one time, and he described him as, he's like this old Italian, like, grandfatherly dude, and he goes, he's the boy with the golden hands. Everything he touch, it's a golden. He touch it gold. And it's like, that's, you know what, Grandpa? That is the best way to describe that kid.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he just exudes charm, but he's so talented and so quietly confident about it without coming across, I think, as arrogant ever, really. And he's just, I don't know, man. And he's so like kind of buttoned up. He's like the opposite of a braggart, and it makes him, he comes across as, he is very unassuming with his talents, because he's not flashy with them in any way, and it makes for a lot of pleasant surprises when you spend time with him, I think.
He's one of the most it feels like effortlessly funny people I think I've ever met. Where, like, when you guys were doing Does It Do, which, not to sound like that's over, I'm sure you guys will make more of it, but like, when I was able to see early cuts of it, the stuff of him falling was so funny that it's like, there's no way that he is like doing this on purpose. Like, this is such good physical comedy, but also like, it's so funny, it feels like it's too good to be luck. So it's just this like really impossible to measure thing as a viewer of like how much of this is intentional and how much of this is purposeful. And I can't think of anybody else that has that style of comedy.
He's kind of like a cross between Jim Carrey and Peter Sellers. And I think that might be because of they're both, I think, pretty big influences on him. But he's got that like thing that Peter Sellers has, where he's just like kind of like cluelessly funny. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
like you're not sure if you're laughing at him or with him, and you're not sure if he's laughing at him or with you. You know, at the same time. But then he's very slapstick, very Dick Van Dyke. You know. Which is a super, super old reference, but if you ever watched the Dick Van Dyke Show, he would trip over furniture every episode, and it was very funny.
Yeah. I feel like I like that you called that out as being old, but not Peter Sellers.
Well, Peter Sellers was at least like 70s. The Dick Van Dyke Show is black and white.
I'm thinking about like Pink Panther. I remember being a kid watching those Peter Sellers Pink Panther movies and like it making me laugh harder than anything I'd ever seen.
Oh, dude.
Specifically, there's one, and maybe you'll have a better memory of this because I was so little when I watched it, where it's like he has a firework that he thinks is like a candle and he lights it and it like starts going off and he's like, it's the joke of like, not that this isn't a candle, but he's like, this candle's ridiculous. This is way too strong of a candle. What type of candle is this? And I think he ends up like lighting an entire firework warehouse with him in it, and they're like in his pants, and like it's just so slapstick.
I
fucking
know.
so funny. Oh god.
He really was the best, man. Every time he'd spin a globe and fucking, they do that gag every fucking Pink Panther movie. He'd spin a globe and then put his hand on it and fall, and it's so fucking. You see it coming from a mile away, but it's still so funny when he does it.
Have you ever seen his appearance on the original Muppet Show?
Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
It's so good. It's like
classic.
so weirdly deep for him as like a career, and just being like,
Talks about how
I don't know
he's comfortable.
who I am.
Yeah, he's not comfortable being himself, and he can only play characters.
Yeah.
It's
wow. I love
fascinating.
Me
too, man.
My Gavin story.
Okay.
And this is even before we did face. And this is such like Gavin has said significantly way funnier things. But it was just for me a moment where like it resonated, where I was like, God fucking, like Gavin is somebody that I like get frustrated with in a good way.
Yeah, I know what
for
you
how
mean.
funny he is, where it's like,
where he's quicker than you are, and it's super apparent in the moment when he says something funnier than what you thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
this
I
is
get that
an
a lot with him
instance
too.
of like, not even that he was quicker, but like the race had like he somehow set a new record for the time, even though the race finished 6 months ago. We're playing Destiny, and I've put thousands of hours into Destiny, and he would play it casually. And we went to the tower, and we grabbed some stuff. We went to orbit, and then I went like, fuck, I forgot to get Crucible bounties. I got to go back. And Gavin said, imagine the annoyance of going into space and then realizing that like you left your locker key at work at home and having to fly back down. And I was like, that's so I hate you so much. I've spent so much time in this universe, and that's such a simplistic joke.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. The idea of like doing the mundane realities of like, oh, did I leave my garage door open? But you're on fucking Mars and you have to now commute back from Mars to like double check. He's great. He's so funny.
You know what's funny? You're 100% right, and he does have a unique view of the world. Like he finds like the absurdity, the hilarious absurdity in the mundane, I think would be a way to describe it. But that's literally what you just described is literally a car commercial I saw a couple months ago where an astronaut is up in space and he realizes he left his garage door open, and he like clicks his keys and it shuts the garage door, and it's like Lincoln.
You have ruined a sentimental memory for me almost instantly. I'm like the genius of Gavin, and you're like, actually, that's a car ad. That was a car ad a few months ago. Other people have come up with that bit. It's not that great. We're so lucky at face. Like I was thinking about this today, and you have a little bit of a different relationship with Nick. I just recorded something with Nick.
Okay.
I have never spent time with Nick outside of when we do the show, so my interactions with him are very limited. But I would say that Nick is like the best good vibes guy I've ever met. Like the most like consistently just good vibes.
Yeah.
I've never seen Nick have like an off day in the recordings that we do.
No,
not in terms of like being funny, but just like positive. He's just like a constant positive presence.
You're 100% right. He is in every way, and I say this as a tremendous compliment, but Nick is like a regulation guy in every way. He's like the right height. He's got the right build, you know? He's got like the right amount of like facial hair. He's got the right attitude. He's always up for doing stuff. He's never like he's never negative in any way whatsoever. He's always positive, and he gets genuinely excited to do the stuff that we do, which is such a it's such a relief.
It adds so much energy
because it really does. You know, I was reading a comment earlier today on, I don't even know what it was. I guess this week's episode maybe. And somebody was like, man, I'm so glad they made that decision to pipe Nick's laughter in, because it's still, going back and listening to the episodes before it was there, and it sounds so weird and kind of hollow without it. And I feel like behind the scenes, Nick was already filling out kind of the the room and the
Yes.
world, and so I'm glad that the audience gets to feel that in a more tangible way. Obviously, they feel it through his editing, but through his auditorily as well, I guess.
I like that we came to that in such a stupid way as well, of how face it is, where he did like 1 or 2 where we couldn't hear him laughing for some reason. I don't know why we did that. There was a transitional period where he was laughing, but we couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
So it was like this weird additional layer of like guy listening to show while they're listening, almost like a terrace house, but a podcast type thing. We're dumb. It takes us a while to figure things out, but I'm glad that we sorted that out, and I really like where the show is in that aspect of it.
Yeah, we're the like the dictionary definition of fumbling forward towards success, I think.
Yes, absolutely. I would argue that face was made without even knowing what it was. It was just all failing forward. Like, there was no real outline. You know, they're like, we talk about sometimes with different shows, there's like a long pitch time and like ideas being thrown out and what it could be. And I think Inception, at least from my perspective, initial pitch to Inception was like 3 weeks with no discussion in that time of what the show would actually be.
No, I was in the middle of having a nervous breakdown while we were starting it, so I was maybe a little off kilter in a few ways. Do you remember that the original name wasn't even going to be Face? Do you remember what I wanted to call it?
What didn't you want to name it? Wasn't it going to be like my name in some way? And
Yeah.
then I would then. For me, I would have had to actually. It's so funny because we've done this bit on the show, but I would have genuinely changed my name because then it would be funny if the show was just named after no one. We kind of like reverse did that bit.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it until this moment. That's funny.
Yeah, it was gonna be Andrew, is just what I wanted to call it. And because it was kind of the whole genesis of the idea was that you and Gav and I would have these just really long, deep, funny conversations that felt like some of the content we were all collectively not making together, some of the best content that wasn't happening in the company, just through our friendship. And we were constantly trying to figure out a way to make that make sense. And then the pandemic happened, and necessity was the mother of invention, I guess. And we took, I guess we made the best out of a shitty situation. And I can't imagine, I just can't imagine a world without it at this point.
No. It is so encompassing and it brings so much joy to my life in so many countless ways. Like even things that are not show related. It's just having something unexpected happen makes me so excited to be able to tell it to you guys in a way that's captured like this. And it's also something like I don't really listen to the show because I hate myself. That's my own personal hatred thing.
Yeah, same.
But I am so excited in the future to be like an old guy and be able to re-listen to this and just be like, I was what a nightmare. I am so sorry. Like I'm going to have to track down Eric and Nick's address and write them a letter apologizing for my nonsense.
You're going to be like 85 in an old folks home. You're going to be like, oh, I guess I said the audience was right about that pencil thing. God damn.
Yeah. Wow, I sucked. That was terrible.
No.
But it's still going to be me though. It's going to be me, though, so I'm still going to try to annoy... I'll probably, like, try to get a bird to, like, deliver it, and Eric's going to be complaining that this bird keeps hitting his hat. Like, it's still... I'd like to think I don't shift that far from what I am now, but...
No, I don't think so.
I'm excited.
Me too,
The evolution of the show.
It's so much fun just to kind of, like... It really feels like surfing a wave and just kind of just like riding the you're I guess you're a part of the momentum, but you're really kind of caught up in the momentum at the same time, so you just never really know what direction it's kind of flowing. I don't know, it's unlike anything I've ever done creatively.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. And just like I love that we're now doing this. Like being able to spend time with you playing fucking Halo 2. This was a path that I never anticipated would be a thing that happened. Maybe like a Warzone video occasionally, but for us to be on the Let's Play channel is so exciting to me.
Yeah.
Just as a fan of like the past and everything you guys did. And I kind of hate to say it, I feel like Gavin might be right. This has been a really fun conversation to have with you.
Oh, dude, I had that realization about halfway through. I was like, God damn it, this is really sweet, and it's really making me think about how much I appreciate these guys. So, no mocking Gavin. This turned out to be a pretty poignant, pretty beautiful view.
It is. It's so nice. But look at this. So if
Okay.
you go this way, right?
Uh-huh.
And you hop over here.
Oh, no.
There's another side. There's
Okay.
two sides. And they never did anything on this side. There's no forge in Halo 2, but there's a bunch of different lockouts. Maybe while Gavin's away, how about in like another video, you and I build us a spot?
Okay.
Like, we won't touch that side. That's clearly, I don't want to infringe on his past memories.
Yeah.
But maybe we build a spot
Over here.
And when Gavin comes back, we can show him what we built and show our new spot. And it could be our spot going forward.
I think that's a fucking awesome idea, dude.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. How good are you at Forge? Because I am shit at it. I haven't done it in so long.
I used to be, like, about 12 years ago, I was pretty good. We'll see.
I don't know what that means. I don't know how to measure 12 years being good at Forge.
It's a long, long time in Forge years. It's like double dog years. So
It is quite a while.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun. We've recorded so much stuff this week. I hope people don't mind. I know it's weird because I can't capture, and we're just trying to do our best around it. I hope that people have enjoyed this content to this point in whatever order it releases.
Me too.
This has been a lot of fun. I guess maybe we should wrap this kind of short, but like, you know, I feel like we had a good talk. We have a plan for the next video. I almost do like let's build, or what was the fucking thing you and Gavin used to do?
Yeah, let's build.
Stuff.
That's where we make stuff.
Yeah.
We could do some version
Like-
of that, sure.
Some iteration of it and build a spot. And I bet you Gavin would be so fucking I don't think he would expect, of all the outcomes, I don't think Gavin would have ever guessed it would be us building a spot for the three of us and saying he was
right. Like embracing the whole idea of the secret spot, and then trying to make it cozy and a new thing while still respecting and providing the original space for his dumb love triangle. Yeah.
Dude, you describing it as him taking a girl behind the bleachers is so fucking funny. I've known about this for 2 weeks. I never put it in that way, in those terms, and that's so goddamn funny.
It's pretty fucking
Oh,
funny,
man. That's great.
Well, thanks.
Well, this was so much fun. I hope the people that watch this video, there is a large, I've been thinking about this because I'm so used to face, and like when we do supplemental stuff, I assume the people watching have context for what we're doing. This is technically on a completely different channel, so they might, like, there are people that might not have any point of reference for what face is.
Oh, that's a good point.
I hope that this was enough to maybe entice you to try listening to that podcast. That is this, but funnier, I would say. Better in almost every way, but tonally similar to this.
If it's a Thanksgiving dinner, face would be the turkey with gravy, and this is the green peas.
I was really worried about what you're going to say because I was about to throw hands depending on what item you said on the table was the lower tier. But yeah, I agree. It is the green peas. This has been a lot of fun. Check out Face if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And Geoff, thank you so much for taking the time to test this with me. Once again, fucking Gavin was right.
Yeah, he usually is. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, talk to you later, man.
All right.
Bye.
Ah.